Right, welcome to a repaint tutorial. What we're going to do today is basically we're going to just cover how you repaint a bus. Even though I made the previous two tutorials, people are still saying that they're having problems with painting over the windows, everything like that. Check the bottom of the post. I have included a link to a new set of templates I created for the game, where you can now basically paint on any window on any bus, uh, and also you can also now paint over the side and rear matrix, which you weren't able to do before. And I've also removed the logos from the buses and also the green sign that's normally above the door. Okay, let's get down to this. Look, I'm not going to make an actual repaint. What we're going to do is we're going to just basically cover how you repaint a bus and also some of the things you need to look out for. Like, for instance, um, if you paint anything over this top front window of the D92, it gets reversed. I don't know why it gets reversed, but it does, so you have to reverse it before you make the repaint. Small little things like that we've got to cover. Um, but yeah, okay, so basically let's start. Okay, first of all, let's unlock our background. You double click, and let's just call it base. Okay, so there we go. We've unlocked the background. Now what we do, we just want to split the bus up into its separate sections. So take your marquee tool and just mark off the bus to the separate sections, and then just make a new layer via cutting. Uh, and that way you only work with the section that you actually want to work with. It's much easier. Um, you've got to be quite accurate when it comes to this. With the top section that I just cut now, it's quite easy to line up. You just line it up with the very bottom of the lines on it. Um, and with this one, of course, you just line it up there. But make sure you get it exact. Otherwise, what's going to happen is you're going to get your repaint bleeding over into another panel, and you really don't want that. This one as well, it's just up to the bottom of the lines on the next section, and you know that you've now got just that. There we go. And the last one. Okay, and this one you can just basically, it's easier just to take the wheels and layer via cut, and we can move that down. Okay, and then just quickly make a new layer, and I like to fill that with black so I can see what I'm doing. Okay, so here's our bus all cut out, and what we're going to do is we're just going to make a simple repaint of just this base color, just to give the bus a different look. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use one of my filters that I've already got in my Photoshop. You can use anything you want, of course. I'm just going to quickly do this. It's quick. I don't have to do anything. We'll give it an animal, and let's make it a tiger. What the hell? There we go. A Bengal tiger. Okay. Right, so we just wait for that to apply it. Come on. Right. And there it's applied it. Now I know you don't think that looks like a bus at the moment, but what we're going to do is we are going to just quickly make sure our magic wand is on the add. We're going to increase the tolerance up to 40. What we're going to do is we're just going to click all the windows, any of these gray areas. Okay, what this will do is, of course, it will just show us our shape of our bus, which is what we want. So there we go, and the last one, there we go. So now we go back up to our animal fur, we unhide it, and we delete it. There we go. Now we can see the shape of the bus. And then let's just do that. and delete that. Okay, so now that we've got the shape of the bus, we know where we're going to repaint over windows and stuff like that. Okay. I'm just sorry, let me just sort everything out here. There we go. And now we can basically just restart doing the windows. Okay, if you just leave the bus as it is like that, what you're going to get is you don't have to worry. Like if I unhide this layer, all these little lines here and here, these get drawn on by the other templates. You do not have to worry about the fact that you've covered them here. Even if I didn't cut out these parts here, the windows would still be repainted in, unless I tell it not to repaint the windows. So any lines or anything that you've covered, don't worry, they will get replaced by the other templates and the way the repainting system works. Now, another thing I would suggest is that you just cut the pieces like this, okay, and you layer via a cut. Go back to your your layer, click on your next bus layer, cut that. The reason you do this is you can then group them, and by grouping them, they're easier to work with. Okay, so we just do that, and that's it. Now just move each of these layers down to their corresponding bus layer. Okay, once you've done that, just highlight the two by holding your control button and clicking on them, and then press Control G, and it puts them into a group. Now by putting them into a group also, it means any changes you do to that specific piece does not get shown by the rest of the bus. So for instance, if I had to, like for instance, go into this one, and I add a new layer of, say, a brightness and contrast layer, that brightness and contrast layer only affects this part of the bus. It does not affect that or that part. Okay, so that's another good thing about putting them into groups. Right, now another thing that you've got to realize is that when working with groups, if you highlight that, for instance, and you move the whole group, not just the one layer. So you've got to choose the layer that you want in the group that you want to move. Right, there we've done a repaint. We can save this file if we wanted to, and we could repaint it, and it would make a bus with tiger stripes. But that's not the point of this tutorial. The tutorial is to cover everything from repainting to repainting the windows. So let's do that. Right, so what we're going to do now, okay, let's just save this, Control S, and we're going to save it as a PSD file so that we save all the layers in the groups. Okay, so we've always got something to revert back to. Now, I've got some files here which I want to repaint on, just Call of Duty. I thought it's a little bit fun. Okay, so let's open that with Photoshop. This is a huge resolution. I think it's 3000 odd. What's the image size? You always want to okay, no, it's 1024. You always want to get as big a resolution as you can, as this will allow you to resize it rather nicely. So we're going to put that one into group 1. Right, so basically when you resize, you know, the bigger it is, the more detail there is. So when you resize it down to a smaller size, it's still got that detail, which is what you're looking for. Otherwise, if you don't select a nice enough resolution or high enough resolution, you're going to basically end up with a picture that looks blocky when you resize it, and really just doesn't do nicely. Right, so there we go. He's resized. Oops, you see there I just grabbed the whole group instead of the layer I wanted. Right, sorry, I got auto select on, that's why. Yeah, when you got groups on, make sure your auto select is off, otherwise it will always select the group. Okay, I want him at the back of the bus, so there we go. And a good idea is also to switch on your guidelines. You'll see every now and then on the screen it will you'll see a pink line or a purple line flash, and what that is that's just showing me my lines as to whether I'm lining up with the other images correctly. Okay,